Hey guys, what's going on? This is going to be just a narrative video of a shakedown flight here with my Bix3. I kind of like watching these other YouTube people's flights with narration and stuff because you get to see a lot of cool scenery and you get to learn quite a bit about what kind of equipment people are using and to what kind of success they're using it as well. So what I have here is the Bix3. It has an EagleTree Vector flight controller inside of it. I have a FreeSky Tyrannus transmitter running the Dragon Link 433 UHF. The video I'm using is 1.3 gigahertz video equipment running, let's see here, Crazy Video Aerial Systems newer 1.3 antennas, the left-hand circular polarized air blades. So I was kind of just testing them out and testing out the Dragon Link and everything else. This is only the fourth pack that I've put through the Bix3 since I have got all the FPV equipment installed and everything. So just basically taking off here, doing some circling around and everything like that, and testing out a couple different modes. I start off in just a regular launch mode with no stability or anything like that. Today was a perfect day up until the end when it started raining, but there's just no wind at all. So I really got to test things out and see how it actually flies and responds without anything disturbing it. So everything's being recorded with Mobius in 1080p. I have that mounted on top of my flight camera on a 360 degree 360 degree swivel servo, and you'll be able to see that in action. And I'm going to do a build video series on everything, but I wanted to do a lot of testing and stuff first just to make sure that I don't steer anybody in the wrong direction in case they wanted to follow my path here, which I have to say so far I'm very pleased with the results for the money that you put into one of these kits. If you have any of this kind of equipment laying around, it's a very good FPV plane. So again, here for a little bit I'm just circling, making sure everything's good. This is a school up by my apartment here, which is surrounded by cornfields here in Ohio. There's lots here north of Columbus, about an hour north of Columbus, and this is where we fly. A lot of people from around here. I think at this point here is when I'm at about, my total altitude I stayed at was about 250 feet, plus or minus 25 feet. Mess around with the throttle a little bit, just trying to find that sweet spot to milk as much battery as I can. I'm running a 3S 4000 Zippy Compact. It fits very snugly into the front cavity of the Bix3, and I was even using it before I had my FPV equipment mounted, and you could fly the thing forever. Here, this flight here lasts about 21 minutes, and I think my battery was only down to about 10.9 volts, so I could have flew for a while, but a little bit longer, but had some rain move in. So right there you just saw me click the return to home switch to verify that it was working, and it's pointing right back towards my home position, and it starts descending to 150 feet, and then it'll come back around me and just do some circling, but I disengaged that so I could keep going on the flight. So what I'm flying in here is with the Vector is just a 2D hold mode, which basically stabilizes the left and right, and of course will maintain your altitude if your throttle is managed correctly. Eventually I get to the point here where, since there's no wind or anything else, I'm basically just doing rudder turns, and that's it. Not even using the ailerons. So it was pretty cool. And my circles, I just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I think from where I'm at to like right here at this corner I'm flying over is about 600 meters. So I went to ultimate distance of 2.2 kilometers. I had no problems with the Dragon-Link. It maintained a 98% RSSI the whole time. I had no problems with the video until I got to that point, besides the occasional flicker. I wish I could show you some actual flight cam footage, but I figured something out today. Since I'm using my monitor is a 5.8 monitor with diversity and DVR built into it, and this is all separate equipment running off of 1.3 receiver and all that stuff. It won't record anything except for what it's seeing on its internal antennas. There you can see me using the camera to turn and look back at my home position. So that kind of stinks. So my goggles won't do that either. The Fat Shark Dominator V2s have a DVR built into them, but they will only record what is coming through the module as well. So basically have two DVRs that I can't DVR any of my flight cam footage with. So that kind of stinks. So again here, just testing my making my circles bigger, just testing everything out, making sure the video is all clean and the plane's operating correctly. I think a few times here I flicked it into 3D heading hold, which basically will stabilize, maintain altitude, and maintain your current heading. Right around here I started for some reason to get a little bit of video breakup. Where basically directly to the left is going to be where I'm flying at. So I kind of wiggled around a little bit to get the video to come back in, and it did. Really impressed with those new air blades, and I think he has them out in all frequencies now, which is pretty good, because if you have a friend that flies 5.8 and you're into mini quads or whatever, then you can pick up a set of the left hands and you should be able to fly together, either on the same channel or close to the same channel. Haven't tested that yet. There I am down there, the little spot in the parking lot. There's a police officer there, always there, hanging out, watching everybody at the school. That is a technical school and an Ohio State campus that is actually there. I think I pan over a little bit here to look. It's pretty. They got nice nice pond and stuff like that. Yeah, there we go. Get the wing shot. Now what I'm using for that is a GW sail winch servo, and basically on top of that I have my flight camera mounted, and then I built a little platform that sits on top of that, out of balsa that is kind of cut in a pie wedge that's angled down that I strap the Mobius to. And then on the back of the FPV pod that comes with the Bix3 is the transmitter. So everything is pretty much mounted there and inside the plane. I don't have anything out on the wings. On the tail I have my antenna and I have my GPS for the vector. You running a 40 amp Cobra ESC and also running, let's see, I believe it is a Turnigy SKS 2836 1050 kilovolt motor, spinning an APC 8x6 electric prop. So after doing a lot of circling and stuff here, this is when I'm gonna start testing out the range here. You know, I have plenty of battery, more than I need to do any kind of testing. There's no wind, so I don't really have to worry about flying into the wind or anything at all. At the end of the flight, I think I get maybe a 6-7 mile per hour breeze that kicks up because the rain starts coming in and ruins my evening of flight. So as you can see, pretty much surrounded by nothingness here, which it's a good time of year to fly, even though it's super windy, because if you go down, it's a lot easier to find something in a cornfield without corn, that's for sure. And I have went through bean fields before looking for my very first DJI Phantom that, when I had no idea what I was doing back in the day, decided to auto land in the middle of the soybean field because I forgot to, never knew anything about voltage fail safes or anything else. So this is where I push it to pretty much maybe the range of the skew planer, maybe not. It started flickering and fading really bad, so I figured why push it. I have a directional too, but I don't have that hooked up, and I don't have no diversity or anything like that. It's pretty amazing looking at those fields, how you can see the parts that retain water and the flooded parts. We're going to be getting a lot of rain over the rest of this week, so I have to fly out there again and see if there's any flooding that's happening. That right there is US 23, which the car going right there is actually heading north, so I'm heading west. All in all, everything went really great. I really don't have any complaints at all, except for the lack of DVR and flight camera footage. That DVR is pretty important too, because that's what's recording your GPS coordinates. So if you all of a sudden lose video or your plane goes down, having those last set of coordinates is pretty nice. I have a locator attached to my Mobius, but it only works when I get within a couple hundred feet. I've tried some of the trackers that run off of the cellular services, and they're just not very dependable, so no sense in weighing anything down. I do have a camera switcher and another camera that I'm going to install. I'm looking back at my home position there. Wanted to check the radiation pattern of the planer, so at 2.2 I started getting fading to my left, which would be to the east. So this way here I'm heading west northwest to see if I can hit that edge again, which actually I do. Then it starts to rain too, so here in a few seconds you're going to see the Mobius start to cloud up and get some drizzle on it. There was the first one. So this is all moving at me, and it was pretty much perfect timing that I just happened to hit that 2.2, 2.3 kilometer mark whenever the rain started getting a little worse and started getting all over my flight camera. So I decided just to turn around and bring it home, and you'll be able to, you can kind of tell that my speed is kind of slowed down a little bit because the winds have picked up a tad, you know, that 6-7 mile per hour breeze. So I just turned it around here and just headed back home here. So, but like I said, I was pretty much at the edge of the planer again, which was about 2.2, 2.3. So that's pretty nice for just a regular antenna, no direction or nothing like that at all. Video aerial systems really make some good stuff, that's for sure. I pretty much that's pretty much all the antennas I've ever bought and recommend to people. There's another wing shot, the Dragon Link sticker. None of this would be possible without that. I think the furthest I flew with just my quadcopter and just the FreeSky was around 1.5 kilometers. Basically, kind of like where you're looking there, a little bit to the right, up the fields there. I never try to fly over houses at all with the multi-rotors. Planes, I probably shouldn't either, but you know, the plane weighs a couple pounds, if that, where I think my big multi-rotor now is up to about 7.5 to 8 pounds. So what I'm going to do here is just do a couple circles and switch modes and bleed off some altitude and bleed off some speed. I have flaps hooked up on the Bix3 too, but I've really never seen the need to use them yet, except just basically when my buddy was helping me test everything out, just to make sure just to test the flight characteristics of what actually happens. You know, the Bix3 flies great, even without any assistance from an autopilot. Once you get it trimmed out properly and you get the center of gravity correct, which I found is pretty much one of the most important thing when it comes to these planes, is getting your CG right. If your CG isn't right, you'll never be able to get it trimmed, and you'll be lucky if you throw it up and get it back down. So this should be the last pass here. I wanted to kind of take a little bit of a longer approach, but you know, like I said, my flight cam is totally covered in rain at this point. So it's coming down here about 100 feet, and it's nice having this nice straight approach here. Most of the time this will be into the wind since that's facing the north, so it's always nice to land into the wind. The only downside to that is any distance flights I want to make, I'm gonna have to go out with the wind, so I might have to find a different location. So anyway, here's a nice FPV land. Landing FPV is way easier than I ever thought. Nice and easy, skids to a